In this week's episode of NDVision.
I think looking back on it, everybody kind of looked at me and said, "Oh gosh, that must be so hard to have children while doing medical school, um, and while in residency." I don't. I felt just the opposite.
And then
Ah,
did was your dad like, I knew she'd be an OBGYN as soon as she said she'd be? You mentioned
no,
that.
I do remember calling him and saying I fought the being an OBGYN because it was still that
Mhm.
teenage rebellious spirit. Like, I can't be an OBGYN. I can't follow in my dad's footsteps and my dad went to University of Vermont too.
Okay.
So I cannot go to the same school and then become the same kind of doctor, and then it just is
Surprise.
too late out for exactly.
Hello and welcome to this episode of NDVision. I'm really excited today to be joined by Dr. Heather Lanphere, OBGYN in our area and baby birthing extraordinaire. We rehearsed this before. How you doing today?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Good. How's everything been?
Great.
Great?
Yeah. Couldn't complain. Very happy where it is. And thanks for having me on today.
Yeah, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, this is a first.
I like to ask everybody that comes on, just give me a history about yourself. And if we go off on tangents, we go off on tangents. But I like to know, where you came from, if you've been here all your life, what took to get you where you are now. Go ahead, start. You can start from the beginning.
This can be dangerous because I'm a chatty person.
I'm ready for it. So am I.
So I was born in Burlington, Vermont. Moved quickly to California for the first year of my life. My dad was there doing his internship.
Okay.
Many of you, I'm sure, know my dad. And then moved back to Vermont, where he did his pediatric and residency before actually moving to the area. When I was turning 5 years old, we moved here. We actually did a brief stint here when I was 1 or 2. We lived in Andover.
I live in Andover.
Where my dad and Dan Tartaglia got into practice together. Then we went back to Vermont and moved here permanently when I was 5 years old. That's where we moved to Wellsville over on West State Street, where I grew up. We did a brief 2.5 years in Buffalo, where my dad did his OBGYN residency, and then graduated high school here. I went to undergrad in small college in Vermont.
What were you into in high school? Like, what were your hobbies in high school? Were you sports? Were you drama, color guard?
I liked attending the sporting events, but I know it'll shock you to know that I was not a sporty. Sporty Spice was not my Spice Girl. I was.
Well, now I want to know who your Spice Girl was.
Oh gosh, I don't know that I could.
Who was the redhead? Was that Ginger Spice?
Ginger Spice.
Ginger Spice.
Yeah.
Was my favorite.
I don't know. In high school, I kind of went through an artsy phase.
Okay.
I mean, I was always a good student. My senior year, I had kind of taken all the classes I needed to take. So half my classes senior year were art classes.
Okay.
Where I was working on my portfolio because I was going to go to art school.
Yeah. Did you have a school in mind that you were looking at?
I looked at the Rhode Island School of Design.
Okay.
And put together a portfolio, and then
What were you specializing in? Like watercolor? Or?
no, I did multimedia.
Okay.
I really liked pastels, and did a lot with reverse pastels, where you would erase to make the the image kind of thing.
Oh, so you'd like just do one solid color and then erase it, or
And
would
then
you do
erase
like multiple
it, and
colors?
usually one color,
Okay.
and then erase to. Yeah, that was the drama of my senior year, as I did a male study, and they wouldn't let me hang it in the because
What's a male study?
a naked man.
When you were
It was
in high school?
scandalous.
Oh, who was the naked man
it
that
did
you
not
were?
go on the. I was a teenage girl, and that was all in my mind.
Oh, was it? Okay. I was like, who is the man that you convinced to like sit there? And I would assume it would be one of your schoolmates. You're like,
No, I had no model. It was all from my, at least not one that I'm willing to own up to. But no, ended up going liberal arts school. Started, I was going to be pre-med, but then decided it was a little bit of a rebellious phase. I'm not going to go pre-med because I don't know, kind of lost my way and ended up graduating computer science with
really?
Art history minor.
And what school was this?
Middlebury College.
Where's that at?
In Vermont, Middlebury, Vermont. It's small, kind of reminds me of AU,
Okay.
a small college town, and you know.
Was there something that was calling you back to Vermont, or did you just kind of like, okay, well, I was born
No,
there,
this
maybe?
is kind of a shot to my ego, but I was top of my class, and
In Wellsville, or
in
okay.
Wellsville, and so I applied to all the top New England liberal arts schools, and I got 10 rejections in a row.
Oh my God. There is something to that, like a big fish in a small pond,
that
and then
knocked
you're like,
me down
oh.
a peg. So a couple pegs, if truth be told. But then the last two schools I got accepted to, and one was Middlebury, and the other was Smith College.
Is that in Vermont as well? Or?
No, that is in. Oh God, this is. I think Massachusetts.
Okay.
But Smith is a women's only college. And as a teenage girl, that was not the experience I was looking towards. So Middlebury it was. And I had a lovely time there. I actually did the first semester I did abroad,
Okay.
which sounds better than saying I didn't get accepted for regular admission. I got accepted for a February freshman program, so they admitted 100 students in February. And I wasn't about to stay in Wellsville as all my friends went off to college. So they had a program where I went over to England and studied. The air quotes there for those of you listening to the podcast for the first semester.
Okay.
And then,
What did you study over?
I can't even remember.
What were you supposed to be studying?
I think I took classes in sociology, really vague. Tell you the truth, I have one memory of class, like one mental image of class over there. Tons of mental images of the pub on campus and the dorms and stuff like that. And then we traveled around a lot. I made good friends with a couple girls from London, and we go down there for weekends and up to the shore in Yarmouth on weekends and stuff like that.
Do you still talk to any of them?
I don't. Isn't
Okay.
that kind of sad?
No, do you think it's just because you haven't reached out? You might be able to find them on the
yeah,
socials,
probably.
Yeah.
And it was hard because it was the very first semester of college, so
remembering names.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. Oh, I remember them all. It was.
What's the most British name that you heard when you were over there abroad?
I don't know. British names tend to be so
Periwinkle Henderson.
yeah. No, truth be told, they're very similar to our names,
Yeah.
but they don't abbreviate names like we do. Like, I remember one of my good friends there was Matthew.
Okay.
Not Matt,
Just
not
Matthew.
yes, but it was Matthew. A little more proper, I think. Then came back to my time at Middlebury, and made some good friends there who I am still close with. And,
Okay.
we get together. We try to get together every year, and like every 5 years, do a big trip together, kind of thing.
What has been your favorite trip that you've taken every 5 years with your friends? Who
Probably,
plans them mainly?
Oh, they do. I'm a terrible planner.
just tell me where to go and I'll be
Terrible.
there.
That's exactly how it goes. We went to Montreal once, and that was a lot of fun.
I really want to go to Montreal.
Oh, it's a love. And Middlebury, it was not far from Montreal, so we would go to Montreal frequently when we were in school.
Were you close to what's the biggest? What's like
Burlington?
Burlington.
Yep.
We rode the ferry. Nicole and I for our 10-year. It was during COVID, like 2020.
Oh, God.
So we went up to. It was right when they loosened things up, and this lake house opened up on Champlain.
Oh yeah.
So we rode the ferry over to Burlington, and we drove our car right on it.
Yep.
And rode it right over and drove our car off. 'Cause I've never done that before, so that was really cool.
I am very familiar with that ferry. It's it's a great way to get across the lake. And after Middlebury, I worked for a year in Washington, D.C.
Okay.
My kids love to tell everybody I worked for NASA headquarters, which in truth I did, but it was on a contract and it wasn't very glamorous. I was essentially an IT tech.
Mm-hmm.
But then I came back to Vermont and lived in a small town close to Burlington, and worked for a computer company there. And then I went back to school.
This is blowing my mind, by the way, that you were computer science.
Oh yeah, I had a huge. That was my.
So my computer
I wasn't
over
very
here
good
is
at
having
it. Yeah,
trouble.
yeah. I am not the person. I have, and the problem with computers is even if I was good at one point, the technology moves so quickly that I'm idiotic at them now. My kids have far surpassed me with computer technology.
I'm getting to the point where my kids are starting to surpass me.
Yeah.
With
it's
like the games that they're playing. I was like,
it's crazy.
What does this button do?
Yeah. And I think I was the last generation that didn't grow up with computers.
Yeah.
I mean, I can still remember getting our first Apple IIe in the house, and that was like a huge deal. Nobody else had that. And, basically it was a glorified
You must have had
typewriter.
Elon Musk money back then. Goodness, man.
It wasn't quite that. But it was a new toy.
Yeah. And this was before there was mice, right? With the Apple II? Is that where you still had to like...
No, that was the first. There was a... No, you're right. I don't think there was.
Yeah.
I think the computer that I took to college, everybody had the same ones. They were these Macintosh, and they were like an SE or something. It was a box. It was an all-in-one, and that had a mouse to it.
Okay. Is this what it... Let me just pull up is this what it looked like?
No. Close.
Okay, hold on. What about this one?
No, I think
What did you do with this computer? Like, what were there games on it? Like
nothing. I would type up my papers for school and print them out. There might have been a game like Pong or something like that, like something really basic. Yes. But really, we never used it. It just kind of sat there. Yes.
That's it?
That's what it looks like.
Found it. If you still had that, by the way, if it was in an attic or
I
garage,
can't even imagine.
holy moly,
Yeah.
the amount of money.
Yeah, that was, and it would probably be mint condition because like we never used it.
Right.
It was. I think Dad thought that was going to be the way of the future.
What was your address again?
Oh, so then I was working for this computer company in Vermont where we did computer systems for physicians' offices. It's kind of the early EMR, but it was mostly, which is electronic medical records. We use them in medicine now, but it was more like a billing system. But I would travel and install systems and then teach the people how to use them, and mostly pediatricians. We did a lot of pediatrician offices. And then I had this, I don't know, epiphany that I didn't, it wasn't really fulfilling what I was doing. I wanted to do something more that felt more important than telling people to turn their computers on and off. And
have you seen the IT crowd? Thank you for calling IT. Have you tried turning it off and back on again?
Yep, that was me every day. And then I did some kind of soul searching and was kind of thinking maybe finding my way back to medicine or teaching was the other thing that I thought I would enjoy.
Teaching what? Do you have something specific in mind, or
not a specific? No, and not even a specific age. Just a teacher working with young minds. I've always liked children, and I thought, we all have those teachers that we loved. I thought I could be one of those influential teachers in kids' lives, and then back then we still got paper newspapers.
Yeah.
And as I was in the middle of this kind of life change, an article came out in the Courier-Journal, which was the Burlington newspaper, that University of Vermont was starting up a new program that was a post-bac pre-med program. So for people who had gone to college but wanted to go to medical school and hadn't taken pre-med in college.
Okay.
So it was biology and physics and chemistry and organic chemistry. It was a program for that. So I thought, well, this is, like a sign from God. So I enrolled in the program in a biology class, and I thought, I'll take it and see,
what was your dad's reaction?
Well, he likes to pad that story.
Oh, okay.
'Cause he said that I called him and I said, Dad, guess what? I've decided to go to medical school. And I remember that part. But then he said the second part was, but don't worry, there's no way in hell I'll be an OBGYN. Whoops. And then, so first the story, like the first 10 years was when I called and said, I've decided to go to medical school. Then there was 5 years of the story was, I've decided to go to medical school, but don't worry, there's no way in hell I'll be an OBGYN. And then forever after that, the story became, I've decided to go to medical school. Don't worry, there's no way in hell I'll be an OBGYN. I saw how it ruined your life. Oh. Like the story kept getting bigger and bigger as my dad told it.
My fish usually get bigger and bigger every time I tell a fishing story.
That's exactly. And he I know he was proud, and he was excited. It's a life commitment, so I think he was nervous, kind of thing with as a parent, you just always want your children to be happy, and I think he was nervous. It's a big life commitment. Would it end up bringing me happiness, kind of thing? But so I did the post-bac pre-med program for 3 years, and then applied to medical schools, and I applied early decision to the University of Vermont, and got in there, and went to medical school there. And the reason I'm so familiar with the ferry is one of the rotations we did was actually in Plattsburgh across so that was my commute every day, as I'd take the ferry over to Plattsburgh, and then I'd ferry back. Do
you remember how much it costed back then?
I do not, but I remember, unfortunately, I got the rotation that was in January, so I was making that track.
So you were staying in your vehicle.
Absolutely, with my hot coffee.
I don't think you can have it. I think they made us turn our vehicles off.
Yes, it was freezing, and it's a part of the lake would ice over, so visions of the Titanic always went through my head.
Iceberg in Lake Champlain.
Yes.
Save yourself. They find you floating on a piece of driftwood door after letting someone go. I don't know.
Who clearly there was room for on the door. I mean,
there was definitely room. James Cameron just wanted to kill Leonardo DiCaprio, I think.
Oh, so yeah, and I do. The reason I believe that I might have said there's no way in heck I'll be an OBGYN.
You can swear on here, by the way. It's okay.
H-E, double hockey sticks. Is I remember going through medical school thinking I was going to be a pediatrician, and gearing everything that way. And OBGYN was actually my last rotation because I knew that was not what I was going to do.
Do you have to learn certain things so if you wanted to be a pediatrician, do you have to learn, you're talking about rotations, do you have to learn a set number of skills to be able to become a pediatrician, even though you're not focusing on one thing, you kind of have to learn it just so you can be an all-encompassing?
Yep, good question. Yep, you do. So in medical school, half of schooling is all classwork, where you have to learn medications and organ systems and kind of the broader stuff. And then you do rotations where, and every school is a little different, but ours were month-long rotations where you had core rotations. Everybody has to do pediatrics. Everybody has to do internal medicine. Everybody has to do a rotation in like the ICU. Everybody has to do OBGYN. Everybody has to do outpatient, like office rotation. Everybody has to do general surgery. And then you have elective rotations where you can do, I did dermatology, radiology, things that I thought were kind of would be good any area I went into.
Right.
So you do kind of the core ones first, and then you do the more individual ones. And then you come out of medical school and you're a doctor, but you go on to do residency. And residency is where you learn to be a specific, like a pediatrician or an OBGYN or a general surgeon. And then you can go from residency to fellowships. So like in my field,
this is all a fantasy novel right now.
It's crazy. It's crazy that the years of schooling is because you do your 4 years of undergrad, and if you're smart, you'll do pre-med in that. But I was not smart, so I did 4 years of undergrad, and then I did 3 years of my post-bac pre-med, and then I did 4 years of medical school, and then I did 4 years of OBGYN. And
Hold on,
then
I lost count. How many years of schooling is that? It's at least 8.
yeah, more than before I went to college.
Oh my gosh.
But I will tell you, I remember deciding to go back to medical school and thinking, oh my God, this is a lot of years of schooling. And thinking it's something I have to get through to be where I want to be. But never discount the journey. Those years were wonderful years, and I made great friends, and I was, learning so much so fast. It was, my sons were born in those years. It was a great time in my life that I didn't expect. I kind of expected it was going to be those years I had to put in to be where I wanted, and I really enjoyed the journey.
Do you feel like do you feel like it was better to do that as your kids were growing up and having your kids and everything?
Absolutely.
Because once you got to the point where you made it, you can truly relax, I guess.
Well, it wasn't nearly, it was a biological clock thing because I had gone, because it was so many years, and because I had gone back to school, I wasn't going to be finished and practicing until I was 36 years old. And so biologically, I knew I wanted children.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to wait till 36 to start. So I had Ethan. He was a year old when I started medical school. And then I had Max towards the end of medical school. Mm-hmm. And then I had Jackson towards the end of residency. And
you have 3 kids?
Yeah. 3
How
boys.
did I not know this? I didn't know you had any kids.
I feel like it's common knowledge.
I didn't know. I don't know.
Because they all grew up here. And yeah.
How old's your oldest?
He's 27.
Okay.
And then I have my middle child, Max, is 23. And then Jackson's a senior in high school this year. He's
really?
Yeah.
Right in Wellsville?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah. Yep.
The more you know.
And I think looking back on it, everybody kind of looked at me and said, oh gosh, that must be so hard to have children while doing medical school, and while in residency. I felt just the opposite. I felt like I had an advantage having my kids in school, because most of the people are traditional. They've gone to undergrad, done pre-med, and started medical school. And it's their life. And they stress a lot more. Having kids gives you perspective that, this pharmacology test is not the end of the world.
Right.
There are bigger things in life. And, yes, I have to. But I found that balance of having something else besides, because medical training can be very consuming. Mm-hmm. Having my children in those years made it not totally consuming, and I think that perspective made it a lot easier for me than for some.
I think Nicole's doing her doctorate right now.
Oh,
not medical school.
But
she's the chair of her department at Alfred State, and she's doing her doctorate and parenting an adult child, me as well. But I think you're right. I think just having that support system where I can, or the kids, either me or the kids can pull her away.
Yep.
A bit sometimes, or else I feel like she would just focus 110% of her brain activity on
Yeah.
her school and work.
Which you can't do when you have a family and
Right.
other. So you get very good at building in. This is time to be with my family.
Mm-hmm.
This is time to study. This is uh, the time I'm at school, and I feel for Nicole because that was when I was doing the pre-med classes. I was still working, and the last year I was working, uh, uh, going to school 5 nights a week, pregnant, and it was a lot. By the
Jeez.
time I got into medical school, I had stopped working, and just went to school and parented, and it almost felt like, oh, this is so easy.
Yeah.
I'm only pulled in 2 directions
Right.
instead of 3. So that ended up being some good years. And then
What brought you back? You're in Vermont at this point still,
Yep.
right?
So no, I was in Vermont, and
Okay.
then in medicine, when you graduate medical school, you go to residency.
Yep.
And residency is this big match system. So you
Like a dating app?
it's awful. It is this archaic system that there are programs all over the United States and outside the United States, and you spend your last year of medical school it, looking at these programs, picking where you want to go, interviewing at the programs, and then in the spring you submit a match list where you rank the programs in order of where you want to go.
Really?
And then the programs rank everybody they've interviewed in the order that they want people. And then this big computer system goes through and matches everybody. So if you ranked a program number 1 and they ranked you number 1, you go there.
It is like
But
a dating
if
app.
you ranked them number 1 but they ranked you number 6 and they filled their top 4 spots, then they go to your number 2, and so and then they have match day, and it's one day where now it's computerized, but at that time where you would go to the post office or your mail room at school, and you would open your little mailbox and open your letter and find out where you were spending the next 4 years of your life.
Really?
Yes. And you had somewhat of an idea. You knew it would be a place, well, you hoped it would be a place on your rank list. If you don't rank enough places, there are some people that don't match and try and scramble a position after the fact. But I matched at University of Louisville in Kentucky. And so I moved my family along with my mother, thank God, who came to Louisville to help with my children, to Louisville, Kentucky for 4 years. And that ended up working out because my mom moved with me. And then a year or so into it, my sister moved to Louisville. And then a couple of years after that, my other sister moved to Louisville. And then when I got my entire family to Louisville, I left. And they all still live in Louisville.
Did you get a baseball bat to commemorate your time?
Oh, yes, I have several. I have several. So I still go back to Louisville.
Did you use your computer science skills to rig the system when they were giving the...
No, I didn't, and I was
Like,
quite
oh, these are my top
shocked.
3 people.
Yes,
I'm going to match with them.
I thought I was going to stay in Vermont, and that didn't happen. And then,
So did you match with... I'm so sorry to interrupt.
No,
Did you
no.
match with who you... Like, one of the people that you were hoping to match with?
I matched Louisville, I think, was 4th on my list.
Okay.
And I was, again, my life is blows to my ego. I didn't think I'd go that far down on my list.
Right.
Whoopsie. I thought I'd stay in Vermont, and then my second choice was Strong, actually here.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought I'd go to Strong and be kind of close to my. You always think of. I grew up here, so I always think of Wellsville as my home. So I thought, oh, at least I'll be close to that home. And no, I transplanted, but made Louisville a home, and it still is. I go back to visit my family and stuff, and did my 4 years there, and then so decided on OBGYN after I had thinking I was going to do pediatrics. I think I did internal medicine first. I really liked it. Then I did family practice, really liked that.
Question going back to where you have to kind of learn everything that you can. Who do you think the most knowledgeable, and again, like, who do you think in the field has like the most knowledge of everything? Do you think it's the family practice doctors? What like the most like all-encompassing kind of, aside from maybe like major surgery, but like who's the most all-encompassing positions, do you think?
I think it's the internists. It's the people that have to know kind of everything.
Right.
Once you start to specialize, you start limiting that. You have to know a lot more, but in your kind of area.
Zone.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, I'm in awe of general practitioners, family practice, internal medicine, hospitalists that know so much about so much.
Right.
It's just the brain capacity there is crazy. And it's kind of funny because you think, oh, surgery must be much more. You must have to be a lot better to do surgery. But surgery kind of that is a different skill set. That's you have to be.
And the surgeons seem to be labeled as kind of like the elite.
Exactly.
Socially, they seem like,
that's just what we label ourselves. But that's more. I mean, that's like a good surgeon's like a good carpenter. You have to, your anatomy knowledge has to be really good, but you have to have kind of spatial awareness and you have to be a good problem solver. So if you get in there and it's not what you expect, or you think it's going to go this way and it goes a different way, you have to be able to think on your feet, and you have to be good with tremendous pressure. In that, I think that's kind of where you start to think of surgeons as that elite kind of, because you have to be good in life or death situations, and that's a skill that is difficult to
so they're like the surgeons are like the pilots in the military then.
Correct. They have that huge responsibility, and the buck stops here. There's nobody that's going to help.
But so I mean, I guess if you are a pediatrician, kids get literally everything wrong with them. Eventually.
Yep.
So you have
pediatrician
to
is like
everything.
Absolutely.
Dental, podiatry, I don't know, anything. You have to know it, right?
Whole kit and caboodle. Yeah.
You have to be able to, I'm assuming that you have to be able to at least have an idea of a diagnosis to send them to the specialist that they would need to see, right?
Go to the right direction. Absolutely.
That's
Absolutely.
Crazy. Just have to have all that knowledge.
Do that, figuring it out exactly for every body system, for and I always like the phrase the art of medicine, because it is an art, because nobody follows the textbook on exactly what they're supposed to.
Right.
So sometimes a lot of people do. That's why we have textbooks, because that's the way 95% of certain things go. But you always have that 5% where it doesn't fit in any box, and you have to think outside the box.
Ooh, I have a question that may be a little controversial right now, because it's controversial in my field. No, how do you think AI is going to help. Not AI as in like, you have robots working on people, but AI as a knowledge base where you can put in symptoms and it can go through all those channels to kind
Oh,
of give examples
yeah.
of
I think there's definitely a place for it, and we're
right.
already seeing it. There are already um, AI programs in medicine that not necessarily doing the medicine part, but for like the documentation
That's what I mean.
part
Like
that
how
help document things and help um, 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 get things from interactions in the
right.
operating room or the office or the into the computer system to um, be ordered
Mhm.
and that kind of thing. Um,
Just
and
like the
I
speed to
definitely
be able
think,
to
yeah.
like if you put in patient is having
Oh,
so symptoms and then it like will just
helps
give you like a
develop the
it could be
differential and yeah.
could be
Yeah. And
type
if you
thing.
think about, I mean, we've had that for years with WebMD and stuff like
Right.
that at
Well,
Google.
even
Yeah.
textbooks, it's
Yeah.
the same thing.
Yeah.
You're
It
looking in
is.
your
It's
textbooks to get
just,
information
yep.
on the
Yep.
it just does
And
it
the
fast.
AI will take you to the next step
Right.
where instead of saying, I have a cough and a runny nose and itchy eyes and, what do
Lupus.
I have? Yeah.
In house it was always
It
lupus.
will, it will go on to say, um, well, are you having X, Y, and Z
Yeah.
kind of things? So I definitely think that there will be a place for it, especially for that pre. It's funny. The the general consensus is that doctors hate when you get on Google and Google your, and there's all this. Don't confuse my medical degree for your Google search, or
Right.
kind of. I I am the opposite. I love it. I love it when patients come in and say, "Well, and I Googled this and I think this is what I." They've already done half my job
Yeah.
for me. They
Yeah.
make it easy. They've gone on. They've looked at things. They've
And they know their bodies.
yes, and
I
it
think.
also helps them. They may have a symptom which they didn't think was related, but as they're searching on Google, they go, "Oh, wait, I do." I do have that. This sounds exactly like what I have. It just makes my life easier. And it helps generate questions
Mhm.
when they come in and kind of have. I'm a big fan of that.
Huh.
Um,
So
and the technology is and I do think surgically. I think that you'll still. I don't think that it will go the way of that doctors will be obsolete, but
right.
I think it'll just be a tool like the other tools that we use now.
Mhm.
It'll just be faster and easier, and um, surgery, the robotics that are coming out now. I mean, a lot of that is designed for um, being able to do more minimally invasive,
Mhm.
so recoveries are faster, better visualization, so it's safer. But the ideas behind robotic surgery
Mhm.
of specialists from you know across the state, across the
Yeah.
country,
They can
across the
control it.
world
Yeah.
can do their specialty surgeries.
Yeah.
As long as you have somebody there that can stop the robot
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
save the
Yeah.
person's life, if
Unplug it.
anything. Yeah,
Unplug not the
when the
person, but the
robot when the
robot.
robot starts to take over. um, it will, there's all this forward thinking of third world countries
Mhm.
and being able to
Have a facility that they can
yes,
go into
then
to
be able to operate
yeah.
there with the expertise of it's just amazing. And
Well, I got off on a little tangent there, but I was just so curious. I
oh
like to ask questions as they pop up so I don't forget them later
yeah,
on.
no,
Um,
exactly, no.
but what brought you from Louisville back home? And then
Ah,
did was your dad like, I knew she'd be an OBGYN as soon as she said she'd be? You mentioned
No,
that.
I do remember calling him and saying I fought the um, being an OBGYN because it was still that
Mhm.
teenage rebellious spirit. Like, I can't be an OBGYN. I can't follow in my dad's footsteps where and my dad went to University of Vermont too.
Okay.
So I cannot go to the same school and then become the same kind of doctor, and then it just is
Surprise.
too late out for exactly. But I loved all the rotations I did. I loved except for psychiatry. Psychiatry was it was fascinating, but I knew that was not what I could do with my life.
Sure.
And so I really thought I was going to do family practice. Well, first I knew I was going to do pediatrics,
Mhm.
and then I did my pediatrics residency or rotation, and it came to the end of it and thought I can't do this with my life because I thought I'll do pediatrics because I love children. I didn't do pediatrics because I love children, and I could not. My rotation, we did a lot of rotating through the pediatric ICU
Mhm.
and the NICU and
I have something named
NICU.
after me.
That's the neonatal. That's the ICU for newborns. um, but we would rotate through and be on rounds, and there wasn't a day of my pediatric rotation I didn't cry.
Yeah, I
Like
can't imagine.
I was a mom at that point, and but you just kept thinking, oh my God, what if this was Ethan?
Mhm.
And it was just, I kind of saw myself. I saw pediatrics as, oh, you have an ear infection and
Yep.
making meow sounds in their ears and
Band-aiding boo-boos.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly. That's what I saw pediatrics as, but it's not. It's children get very sick and children die, and I could not
My
process that. It
my
was
brothers and sister-in-law are both elementary school psychologists.
yeah,
And I was like, what does this elementary school need a full-time psychiatrist for? And he's
oh
like,
yeah,
kids see their parents overdose. This is down
yeah.
in they live in a more urban area. He's like, kids see their parents overdose. Kids
Oh
see their parents, car accidents or
yeah.
anything, or
Yeah,
bullying.
kids are
It's
abused.
yeah,
That's another
yeah.
thing that I thought I don't know how I would handle myself. Somebody brought their child in and seriously injured, and I
Yeah.
suspected abuse. Like, how do you?
Mhm. You go out and tackle the
Yes,
the-
exactly. I'm going to end up in jail if I go this. And to be fair, it was on my pediatrics rotation that 9/11 happened.
Oh, okay.
So it was a very emotional time for everybody in the
Right.
country, kind of thing. And so I got out of pediatrics and thought, oh my gosh, this was my direction, and I don't think I can do this. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to go into family practice because I loved kind of everything, and I thought I'll do family practice with a lot of procedures because I
Yeah.
really liked procedures, operating, doing things with my hands. And then my OBGYN residency or rotation was last because I knew that wasn't where I was going to go, and I loved it
Okay.
and felt like I had found my people. Like,
What does
this is where I-
OBGYN stand for? Do you know?
obstetrics and gynecology.
Okay.
So it's obstetrics is the delivering babies part, and
Oh.
then gynecology is the pap smears and hysterectomies and
Mainly women's health.
yes,
Right? Yep.
women's health, exactly. And so I was still stubborn and thought, well, I'm not going to be an OBGYN just like my dad. So I'm going to do family practice, but family practice has a fellowship afterwards, which is an OBGYN fellowship. So that you can't do gynecologic surgery, but you can do OB, and you can do C-sections, and you can do anything obstetrically related. So I'm like, that's what I'm going to do. And then I kind of got towards time to match, and I thought, Heather, what are you doing? Sounds like a plane.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Sorry if you can hear anything. They're like, have a motorboat out there. I don't know what's going on.
It came down to don't do family practice with an OB fellowship because you love OB. Just bite the bullet and do OB. Do what you'll love. And so that was how I chose OB. And then my residency was in a big city, kind of urban hospital. And
Where was that at?
University of Louisville.
Okay. So this is before you moved back.
Correct.
Gotcha.
So now I'm in Louisville, and I loved what I was doing with medicine, but I didn't love the city. I'm not a city girl. And I didn't love practicing in the city because I went into medicine because I wanted to make a difference. And I feel like, at least for what I was looking for, city medicine, I didn't feel as much like I was making a difference. A lot of the gynecologists I was rotating with there were fighting for patients. They were learning how to do tummy tucks with their C-sections. So, as kind of a gimmicky thing to try and get more people in there. It was anti what I
So it was kind of cutthroat.
Yeah, yes, it felt very not, I wanted to go where I was needed, and so that's when I started thinking I was going to do rural medicine. And then I kind of, an epiphany my last year, I thought, if I'm going to do rural medicine, why would I not go home?
Right.
Why would I not go and practice with my dad and continue learning from him? Why would I not go home and take care of the people I know and love? I mean, it kind of, when it dawned on me, it was a no-brainer. And I remember calling my dad and saying, do you think that there would be a spot for me at the Jones? And my dad just laughing like seriously? Like, I don't think he ever even allowed himself to hope that I would consider coming back. And he was just so surprised. And then he kind of laughed like, they'll make a spot for you. But I remember being really nervous that there was not going to be, and coming to interview and being very anxious. And of course I flew into Rochester and they lost my luggage. So
That
all
makes
I
sense.
had was the those velour J-Lo. That's
yes.
what I had worn. And I'm like, I cannot interview in this outfit. And being at Walmart 2:00 in the morning, trying to find, because it's the only place in Rochester open, trying to find something that would be, decent to interview in. Knowing now I could have showed up in scrubs and it would have been perfectly fine.
Like, oh yeah, this person.
But I was so anxious and coming for the interview, and the interview being, it was like a who's who of Jones Memorial Hospital. in the boardroom.
Uh-huh.
It was my dad, it was Bill Koch, it was Jim Edmonston, it was Zahi Kassas,
Yeah.
it was
That's a lot of dudes.
oh my gosh, it was the CEO, it was the CFO, it was oh my gosh, I'm glad I wasn't hooked to a heart monitor when that was all going on. But yeah, it was figuring out that I wanted to do OBGYN.
Mhm.
It was figuring out that I wanted to do rural medicine, and then figuring out why would I not go home.
Yeah.
And really ended up coming home because I bought the house I grew up in when I was a child.
On West.
On West State Street. That's the house I grew up
Is it the brick
in.
one?
No, it's
Do you know which one I'm talking about? That like 1-story brick house.
Yes,
Up
the
from the pink.
Bradleys
I
used to.
love that house.
Yeah, I'm right across the street from
I
that.
love that. I've
Yeah.
always loved that house.
Yep, that's a beautiful house. Yeah, no, it was. I ended up moving really back home, and
How was it? How was the perception when you came back, and your father, who your father was?
yeah.
Did you feel pressure there? Do you
Oh
think?
my God, yeah. I always used to joke with him. You couldn't have made the shoes a little bit smaller for me
Right.
to fit into. He was, but no, I feel I feel so blessed and lucky. I in a lot of ways, coming back to work with him. I mean, you get out and you're on your own and you're terrified.
Mhm.
You're thinking, you don't have that comfort level yet with practicing medicine. And every decision you make, you think, oh my God, is that the right decision? Is that, I remember when I first started, they called me for a Tylenol order in the middle of the night. And I'm like, oh, sure, she can have Tylenol. And then I spent the next 3 hours awake thinking, oh my God, she doesn't have liver disease, does she? Oh my gosh, they didn't, give her too much Tylenol. They didn't, questioning a Tylenol order. You're
I'm amazed
so
that you
nervous.
got a call for a Tylenol order. Like they're gonna call someone and wake them up in the dead ass night. Can I give my patient Tylenol?
Well, that was my fault for not putting the order in before I went to bed. So that comfort of being able to come back and spend those first few years where you're where what to do, but getting that comfort level with what you do, being able to do that with my dad,
Yeah.
with somebody who I knew had my best interests at heart. I knew, wasn't judging me. I didn't have to feel embarrassed in front of asking questions. In fact, we'd laugh at it. We'd be operating and he'd say, oh my gosh, remember when you first started and trying to get that stitch, how much you'd struggle with it? I'm like, yes, Dad, I remember. You don't need to.
Yeah.
And so I was very blessed for that. I was very blessed into a community that, I already felt accepted. I mean that, people knew me and knew me as his daughter kind of thing. And, I did, those were big shoes to fill and had a lot to live up to.
Yeah. Nailed it.
Yeah.
by the way.
I always laugh. I always say, people will say, oh my gosh, you're so much like your father. And I'll always say, thank you. That's the best compliment I get.
Yeah.
Kind of. And we are, I look back at, that rebellious trying to avoid. I ended up here because I am so similar to him.
Yeah.
And he ended up in OB because that was his love. And of course I'd love the same thing because I'm the same personality that for better or worse. So a very similar path, I guess, in hindsight was to be expected.
I have a few stories to tell you.
Oh Lord.
Actually. There's 2 of them. I have 2 kids. So there's 2 stories.
Oh.
They're positive ones. I remember when we were in the hospital and Nicole was giving birth to Gwen. I remember you coming in and you were like, "Do you want to pull her out?" Speaking of Gwen, and I was just like, "Oh, sure." I was in my mid-20s. I had no fear back then. There's the significant others that hang out at the top or off to the side. But I was like, "Yeah, let's get right in here." And you're like, "Okay, get suited up." And I didn't realize that I had to wear it was all rubber. It was like this rubber apron. I had these rubbery gloves on. I don't know. They were long. I remember them being longer gloves. But you're like, "Okay, there's the head." You grabbed my hand. And you're like, "See that right there?" And I was like, "Yeah, I can feel that right there." And so the head came out, and you were focusing on getting that out and making sure everything was okay with Gwen. And then all of a sudden, there's it was up to the shoulders, and there was just that one final push there, and it just was like. I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Alien, but I watched those recently, and it was just like that, the xenomorph was coming out. But I'm in this rubber apron suit, and she's wet, and I'm trying to hold on, and you're like, "Oh, don't drop her!" And I just remember Nicole being like, "Don't drop my baby!" So I'm holding her as a football, locked up here. So that was that experience with Gwen, and Gwen was healthy and everything was okay. And then Casas comes in and does his thing. So you work hand in hand with Casas.
Oh, absolutely.
Right, and Monica, absolutely. I imagine now.
Yeah.
And then with Gray, so Gray was different because Gwen was born because Nicole's water broke. Mm-hmm. Gray, we found out that her water was leaking for a week, so she had to be induced. And it was my birthday. Do you remember this? I came in on my birthday, and I was like, "Listen, if you get this baby out tomorrow, because I don't want to share a birthday, but if you let us stay and get this baby out, I'll buy the whole floor pizza and birthday cake, because I have birthday cake." So I got chicken wing pizza, and then I brought my birthday cake in, and I had my birthday in the hospital that year. And I remember that time I was like, "I'm just gonna hang out back here up with Nicole for this one." And I actually have a video of it. I'll show you after
cool.
we get done. But I have the video. I don't know if you remember. I filmed everything during Gray's that time.
That is so fun, because I do remember, now that you say it, I do remember, because we were talking about pizza, because you had posted when Nicole was pregnant with Gray, and she had a craving for chicken wing pizza, but you couldn't get the chicken wing pizza delivered to you where you lived in Andover. So the delivery person you would meet them. So you would drive to meet the delivery guy who was bringing Nicole her chicken wing pizza. And I remember thinking, what a great husband and dad that she wanted her. Everybody should be like that. Then we were talking about the chicken wing pizza, and then the chicken wing pizza.
I'll buy one.
Yeah,
have this baby.
Exactly.
What that was is I'd just seen this video where someone's like, "Oh yeah, chicken wing pizza induces labor. Spicy things induce labor." And we were trying to this was at the end. We were trying to get Gray out. So I did the experiment there.
Yeah.
But she was craving it, and it was delicious pizza.
Yeah. You did what you needed to do.
I think it was Duke's in Alfred. I don't remember. Maybe Giovanni's. I don't know. It was good pizza.
I don't remember, but I remember distinctly thinking, what a good guy that you were going to make this happen.
And then she drove herself to the hospital in the video. You'll see that in the video. Nicole's a strong-willed person. How often do you see the parents, I guess, significant others, want to be around in the front and help as much as they can? How often do you see them in the back? And how here's the first question. How many times have you seen someone faint?
Oh gosh.
Does it happen often, or is it random?
No, it doesn't happen often. I would say maybe 30 times, but in 20 years, that's not. We get one a year.
Yeah.
And I think it's usually because the people who think, oh, I don't do well with blood, I don't do, are cautious, and we
Yeah.
always have a chair for them. And those are never the people who faint.
Yeah.
It's always the people who you least expect it, and they're, we're doing a C-section in the operating room, and they're, standing up, watching the whole thing, saying, oh, I gut deer every year. I take and the next thing you know, they're on the floor.
That's not your wife or girlfriend or something.
Exactly. There's a whole different emotional component to this.
They're also awake, right? For C-sections most of the time, so
Yep.
that's got to be
Yep.
a little bone chill in there.
They're it's a different for sure. But yeah, I thought it would be more, but they're cautious, and I would say, if I just had to, I would say 10% of significant others are at the top of the bed and
Yep.
don't want to see a thing.
Yeah.
And 10% are with me at the bottom of the bed and want to deliver, and then there's 80% that are, the majority are kind of a little bit of each,
Yeah.
kind of peek down there,
Uh-huh.
but it tend to be at their side, kind of
Yeah.
helping them along, and that kind of thing.
With Gwen, I never felt more useless as an individual than when because you're sitting in the room as a male. This is as a guy or or whoever it may be, whoever the person is that's not giving birth at the time. You're sitting in the delivery room, and you're just there.
Yeah.
You can't do anything at all, but just sit there and see their misery a lot of the time.
I've always felt the worst for those the dad significant others. There is the person that you love more than anybody, suffering, and there's absolutely nothing you can do, and it's
So when you asked if I wanted help, I was
awful.
like, "Yeah, put me in, coach. I'm down." Yes.
First your rubber suit.
It was like an apron. I don't know. I just specifically remember it being thick and slippery. But it is an amazing feeling being able to like I held her before Nicole did. I was the first person in her existence to touch her, which was cool.
It's a miracle, and it never gets old. Every time I deliver a baby, and even every time I listen to a baby's heartbeat in the office, it's just overwhelming how what a miracle it is, and what how lucky I am to do that every day.
Yeah.
It's just,
You're a
blessing.
life bringer. Really? I mean, you are. It's true.
And I work with amazing people.
Yeah.
On all, in the office, on maternity, in the operating room. It is, and again, it goes back to that. What brought me back is that sense of community, and that the Jones are the people I work with are my family. I mean, they're my friends. They're who I.
Does that get weird sometimes? Like when you have to, patients, like when you see them out, I guess. Does it get awkward any times at all?
I can't think of.
Because we are in such a small community.
It is.
In a more urban area, you I don't know. I don't know what the correct term would be, but you serve these people, and then you might not see them unless they're in your office. But like here, you're gonna see 90% of the people that you. What's the correct term? Not serve, but is that the correct term?
I feel like it's but I can't think of when it. I mean, it must be awkward at some point, but I can't really. I think I'm just so grateful because for me, that's my favorite part.
Yeah.
That's watching the kids I deliver grow up in the community. Seeing the women I take in the grocery store. My family hates to grocery shop with me because it always takes so long. Because I'm running in and I'm talking to everybody and I'm
Do people come up to you and they're like, "Hey, so I've been having a problem with something."
No. I can't believe it, but the respectfulness of the community. I mean, everybody knows where I live.
Yep.
And I've been here almost 20 years. And the 20 years before that, being in Vermont, I lived here. Everybody knows where my house is. In that 20 years, I have had one person come to the door to ask me a medical question. And that was a teenager on birth control who had a question about her birth control. You know, even that I didn't mind. She didn't know any better. But that's it.
Yeah.
I can't believe people are extremely respectful. People do not, go on and on outside kind of. You know, I can count on one hand the number of people who, use my private cell phone to ask me medical questions. And those people are all my friends kind of thing.
Right.
I would be furious.
I'd ask my friends.
Yes, if they didn't ask me, I would be furious. Like,
one of my
why
best
did
friends
you
is a
not
car
come to
salesman.
me?
I'm like, "Hey, what should I get?"
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's never, I love watching, interacting with people. Like, and I think that's the big difference of why people go into medicine in rural areas is they want to be part of the community. And then there's kind of this whole group of physicians that don't, they want to be anonymous. They don't want to go to the grocery store and run into people or and so they gravitate towards the cities and they shop in grocery stores that are not where close to where they were. I mean, it's just crazy it's crazy to me because that is the antithesis of what I
Good
love.
word.
Thank you.
Yeah.
My
I love
SAT word of the day.
Do you remember your first time, I guess, because like you said, you've been here for 20 years now. Has there been a moment where you've delivered someone yet, and then now you've delivered their kids?
There has not.
There hasn't been that
no,
yet.
And it's going to come anytime because to be factual, 17 years I've been here.
Okay.
So the people, Jackson, my son, his class is the first class that I delivered. And 17, we're right at that age where people are, I certainly have delivered women younger than 17.
Sure.
But they aren't people that I delivered. Most of them are people my dad delivered.
Okay.
I deliver a lot that my dad delivered. Next generation with the next
That's
generation.
got to kind of be cool, though,
But
too.
I'm waiting for my first. I delivered her, and now I'm delivering, or I delivered him, and now I'm delivering his child.
Are you gonna have like a big celebration? I feel like you should. You should have like some sort of bottle of something or whatever it is, just to be like, I haven't opened this until I've delivered this one thing.
My next generation. I don't know. Does that make me old though?
No, I don't think so. Do you know if did your dad ever talk about that where he delivered, the next generation?
He did. He delivered, and they actually did an article on it in the paper. He delivered his first fourth generation, where he'd taken care of he delivered the grandmother, the mother, the daughter, and then was delivering the grandchild, the daughters.
Jeez.
And he, and that child was actually one of my patients, and I was on vacation, and that's one of the hardest things to get over is there is no good time to leave.
Yeah.
You feel like terrible, like 9 months, and then I'm missing the main event. Like you're not there for your patient after you've taken them through it. It was
You see that in movies.
that
Like, I
oh
want
it
my
was
doctor.
yeah it was I would feel so badly leaving, and I remember she was in labor, and I left, and when she came in, and my dad delivered her, and it ended up being this great thing because that was his first
Yeah.
fourth generation delivery. So yeah,
He's probably excited that you weren't there. He's like, this is for me.
I was there. I was there the next baby.
That's cool. So you haven't had that yet, huh?
No, that will be one for the books for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were mentioning earlier that your piece of property that you have, and you mentioned that you're probably never going to retire. How old was Dr. Miller before he retired? Did he retire?
He never retired.
Yeah.
No, and talk about time going fast. It was 10 years ago that he passed away. 10 years ago on the 26th, like literally a couple days ago was the 10-year anniversary of his death. And he was planning on retiring in January of that coming January.
Mm-hmm.
But then was in the car accident, passed away, so he never got to retire.
Yeah.
But to be fair, he was planning on retiring, but he wasn't really. He was going to give up the office, but he was still going to do call. He was still going to assist in the OR. He was still going to see people in the hospital, all that. So kind of semi-retire, which I think a lot of people in medicine do. It's hard to go cold turkey.
I'm never going to be able to retire.
Yeah,
either.
no. I think that's you love what you do.
Yeah.
And to give that up would, and it's so much of your identity, who am I if I don't do this? Yeah. Would I enjoy some more time to myself to do some things that, absolutely. And that's why I think I would, kind of step back and maybe not work as much, kind of thing as I'm older.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
You have 3 boys.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to be the person that? Do you want to deliver? I guess if the time comes, do you want to deliver your grandchildren, or would you rather have someone else deliver your grandchildren? Gosh. Like, would you want to be that person, or would you want I want to sit back and mom?
So I don't think I would. It really can't happen because legally you're not allowed to take care of family,
really,
unless there's no other option.
Okay.
And
do you think you'd be in there like, well, maybe you should actually, to the other doctor?
Yeah,
like, maybe
that would be so. I think I would want somebody else. I took care of my sister and delivered her first child, and because at that time it was only my dad and I, so somebody in her family had to take care of her.
Sure.
And it was a lot of stress and pressure.
Yeah.
It was really scary. So I think I'd rather somebody else be in control. But on the flip side, I don't like not having control.
Right.
And I have been at all my sister's other deliveries, and my best friend's delivery, and whenever I'm there and I'm not in control, that gives me anxiety, especially if things start going wrong. Mm-hmm. It's very difficult to not be totally obnoxious and be like, "Oh my God, what are you doing?
Yeah.
you need to do this and that and that."
Yeah.
So it's a hard. But I will say that I'm hoping that it's. That everything goes well.
Yep.
And usually people are very, kind. I'm cognizant of, I don't want to step on their toes. I don't want to make them uncomfortable. And usually in turn, they're very respectful of, what do you think, kind of,
Yeah.
letting me have input, kind of thing.
I think the teachers at Andover get this is just my theory. I think the teachers at Andover get a little stressed out during parent-teacher conferences. The ones that know Nicole's the teacher. Especially Nicole's that person that will go in and like, well, have you tried this?
Yeah, yes. That's a very
Because she knows our
stressful
kids for
thing.
one,
Yeah.
but then she knows exactly how to teach the way our kids learn. So
Yes, yes. There's
I
a
wonder
lot
if
of
the
pressure
teachers are
there.
like, oh my god.
Oh,
We I just thought that would be interesting. Like, would you want to, if you had the opportunity, would you want to be, delivery nurse of your grandchildren, or would you rather just sit back and, be more of a motherly figure? 'Cause when we gave birth, we didn't allow anyone in the room but us.
Yeah.
Because it was our moment, and it wasn't because we didn't love our parents dearly. We just wanted our moment and not to have to worry about anything else but each other.
Yeah. And that's, at the end of the day, that's the most important thing, is I want what my this is the biggest moment in their life. And, I'll be there that whole child's life, and absolutely. And I just want whatever they want. And if they want me there, and I'm happy to be there. If they want me in the waiting room, I'm happy to be in the waiting room.
Pacing back and forth.
Absolutely. I because having a child is a personal experience too. And I do not want to if that's something that my son and his wife or girlfriend or significant other or whatever wants to have as their moment, I totally respect that. You're
still allowed to be a little salty, though.
Yeah, no, I would never. Are you kidding? They're giving me a grandchild. They can do no wrong in my eyes. No, I am happy whatever they. And my dad was at all of my deliveries.
Yeah,
but not in the delivery room.
In the room,
yeah,
right?
He was in the waiting room for Ethan, and then with Max, he was actually in the he was at home taking care of Ethan while Max was delivering, and then Jackson, he was in the waiting room with the boys, kind of thing. So he was in close for all of them, but not
right.
There kind of thing. Because I think he struggled too with not having control and not and watching, which you can imagine, watching your child suffer.
Yeah,
is I remember once I had surgery, and I got out of surgery and out of the recovery room and up to the room, and I was having some pain, and my dad just losing it, like with the nurse trying to get her to come in and give me pain medicine to make me more comfortable.
Was this in Wellsville?
No.
Oh, okay.
This was up in Rochester, and being a little afraid, like, okay, I'm not hurting anymore. Just, please, which now as a parent and watching your child suffer and is just, there's nothing worse kind of thing. So I think it was a good. He was happy to be there.
Yeah, I have a question that we can skip over if you don't want to answer it, but just in general, I'm curious if when you see the moms in there and there's no one, what is that feeling like? Like when they, obviously we're talking about how significant others in there or parents, people who are supportive. Yeah. What's it like? Are you able to tell if there's like someone that doesn't have support? How do you go about that?
So that of course that's always heartbreaking,
right?
And sometimes it depends on the circumstances. I mean, sometimes there's when they're, because they don't have a big support structure, and their husband's at home because he has to take care of the other kids, and there's no one to watch the other kids, and I always try and we're very, I mean, it's one of the great things about small town is, bring your kids in, and
Yeah.
they can be here, and we can.
We had
try and-
Gwen in there like
Yeah, watch them in
after
the
everything is
waiting
okay,
room after.
you know?
Exactly. Kind of do whatever we can to get their support there. And sometimes there isn't support, and it's heartbreaking. And
Is there like specific, and again, just asking general questions, is there specific protocol for that when you can sense that, like, okay, we need to have like this literature ready and everything for as far as like where they can go if they need assistance, like what do you, Planned Parenthood or WIC or any of those services like that, like, okay, we should probably get like this
absolutely. And there's that part is there for everybody. I
Right.
mean, the resources that's
I remember the
that's-
freebies.
Yeah, and that's very. And we have a social worker, Kathy, who comes in
Mhm.
and helps. Doesn't just hear a bunch of brochures, but let me help you get that appointment, and I can arrange for rides to get you there, and kind of whatever. Here's the diapers, and here's that all. We assess everybody's needs, irregardless of.
Sure.
But I thought or took the question more coming out of the emotional kind of how do you support somebody through this, and that's where, I mean, anybody who's delivered at Jones knows that our maternity nurses are they're rock stars.
Oh, yeah.
And they're so, anybody in nursing, you don't go into nursing because you want to make a bunch of money or work a 9-to-5 kind of like. You go into nursing because you love taking care of people. And a situation like that is where, I mean, you shine because you're
the support. You become the
you
support.
are. Yeah, absolutely. And they are just wonderful, and it just makes me love them even more that they can be there right by their side through the whole thing. And it's funny because it's sometimes people will have people there, but they still need support because those people have no idea, how to, or those people are being in there and being supportive can sometimes be two different things.
Yeah.
And so, the nurses are wonderful at being able to, and continuing that on. I mean, every nurse there has a list of women that they still communicate with and watch their children grow up, and they're coming back with their next child. Oh, I'm gonna take care of her today because I delivered her first, and establish those relationships. Go to those kids' birthday parties, and it just is, it's part of that community part that I love about.
I'm probably going to get a text message from Jim, but when people ask me about Jones and what's best about Jones, I say two things. I say the cafeteria, and I say the maternity ward, because this is like, I feel like the two best.
Absolutely. And this is, and Jim probably will give you a phone call.
I know.
But I will say, and this isn't just to appease Jim, but it's a great time to be at the Jones with, I feel like I've been at the Jones my whole lifetime. I mean, yes, I've been there 17 years, but, I was 5 years old going in to make rounds with my dad and playing on the bed, and all the nurses had coloring books for me in their drawers and stuff like that. I mean, I've grown up there. This is an exciting time at the Jones. I mean, I can't remember the last time that we have operated in the black consistently. Financially, we're stable. The new construction is just
Yeah,
beautiful.
you're
I mean,
upstairs now.
I'm living in the penthouse. Like I feel like a queen up there. The operating rooms have all been redone. The MRI suite. The next big project is the reworking the whole emergency room and
Yeah.
enlarging it. And we're finally at a point where our family medicine and our primary care physicians. I mean, we've always been at oh my gosh, where can we get this person in? There's just not enough providers there. We're finally getting to where there are enough providers.
Yeah.
The association with U of R and bringing in the specialties. Getting a robot in our operating room, we have a Da Vinci robot.
Do you really?
At the Jones. I mean, that I never thought I would see the day when Jim first told me. I laughed. I was like, the Jones is getting a Da Vinci. Like that doesn't. It's really, you know. Some may think I'm drinking the Kool-Aid, but the Jones, that level of what we have in a rural area is such a blessing. And we've always had great people. Now we have the great facility and the support that we
tools
need
that
to
the people
go.
can use.
Absolutely. And it's really it's just I wish my dad was here to see what it's become, because it's in my lifetime of following at the Jones, it just is. We're on an upward trajectory that's just so exciting.
That's actually a perfect lead into kind of the last thing I want to talk about. There's two parts, and you can answer the first one pretty quickly. I think is do you think you're at the point where you're training like your protege, I guess, moving forward? But then also after that, what is it like? What is it really like being able to work in the facility that your dad helped grow and is named after him, being able to go in every day and just know that you're a part of that legacy and building your own legacy? Now, because you are, for like Nicole and I, people like Nicole and I, you are our, you're our Dr. Miller. You're our Dr. Lanphere. Like, you are our person.
Where's the Kleenex?
No, you're our person for that. So what is it like going in and just feeling that like I'm there now? I've made it, I guess.
It's now I got all distracted because I was trying to hold back the tears. What was the first thing you said?
The first thing was the protege. Are you training your current?
So I'm always looking for the next, because I hope that the next generation is like I was, the person who comes, hangs their shingle, has their career here, embraces the community, and that's hard because medicine is moving away from that. People go to several different jobs. This whole world of locums medicine, where people are rent-a-docs, where you kind of go and work a place for a while.
Go for the highest bidder.
Yes. Well, and it's a little different. And so right now I'm not training a protege because I'm the only permanent one here. All the other OBGYNs, because Dr. Rupert retired, so I'm the only person. And then there are several other doctors who come in, but they're all locums. So this is not, they don't live here and work here permanently. Now, but what we've done is we try and get long-term locums. So those doctors who are coming in, they come in 2 weeks a month. So there's some continuity to their care. You're not seeing, they can follow up on things, and people don't feel like every week it's somebody different. But it's definitely way different than when Dad and I were the only people here, and you saw us through the whole thing. And it's so, but there is a new OB who is coming here in. Gosh, she starts in a couple weeks. Dr.
You heard it here first.
Yeah,
NDVision
yeah.
exclusive.
No, there have been press releases and everything.
No, shh, you heard it here first.
And she is wonderful. I personally, I just got along with her so well, and she is just so kind and sweet, but she's like my age, so I don't really think of her as my protege, because she won't necessarily be coming back she won't be carrying the torch much longer than I will. But I always look, I'm active in having students from New Visions, just our local the high schoolers. Homegrown is always the way to go if we can do it. But also through PA programs and nurse practitioner programs, and we have a relationship with LECOM, Lake Erie College of Medicine. So physicians that are coming, and anytime somebody comes and they're interested in OB, I'm like, this could be the one. This could be the one. So yeah. If anybody's interested in OBGYN, come see me.
They're gonna have some massive shoes.
So yeah,
start learning it. Anyways.
I'd love to see that, but I don't know that will happen. As far as being my dad's and what it feels like to work in the, it feels like a blessing. I mean, it feels so to have that support of the community, is just. It's all that feeling of family. I mean, there's my family, and then there's my family at the Jones, and then there's my family of Wellsville and Allegheny County, and it just that everybody takes care of everybody kind of thing. I mean, just I can't even. When Dad died, I can remember my mom coming and just crying tears of joy at how supported I was by the people that were coming and helping and just whatever they could, bringing me food, telling me a story about Dad, giving me a hug, just that kind of was and people, I'll have, after my husband left, people who would know the situation, I would get up in the morning and somebody had plowed my driveway or shoveled my walks, or, that kind of thing means so much. It just, to me, that feeling of, caring is huge to me, and being able to, my dad was kind of my hero, and he was who I always looked up to and followed in his footsteps, but as a child you always, you look for that approval from your parent, look for that, and to be able to know that I kind of, it makes me proud that I can do that. I'll never feel like I can do anything close to what he did,
But to us, though,
I
to
know,
that generation,
but it's hard for me to see.
You were saying that your son's class is like anyone down from there.
Yeah.
It's pretty much you've delivered probably, I don't know,
A
I'm just
fair
going to throw a
percentage.
number, 80% of the population that lives here in the past 17 years. That's a lot.
It is. It's
Do you
crazy.
have a count?
I don't have an official count.
Don't have an
it's
official count?
probably 3,000 or 4,000 at this point.
Yeah.
in my lifetime.
And
But
then-
it doesn't. God, it doesn't seem. It doesn't. I have a picture board in my office of a bunch of children I delivered, and it feels. I guess I don't have a count because it doesn't. It doesn't feel like a number. It feels like. I'm much more. I can remember I can remember that he went and got pizza for her when she was. I can remember that they had, 2 120-pound chocolate labs that they were excited to introduce to their child. Everybody's got a story, and that's what I remember more so than the
metrics,
the numbers of it. Yeah. And I love that board and looking at the pictures and thinking about those and thinking about those kids since then, because I see those kids grow up in the community, and I look at their baby picture or the picture they sent me when they were a year old, or their family photo from Christmas, and I think, oh my gosh, look, and now he's a senior in high school. It's where does the time go, kind of.
Did you ever use that to scare your friends? You know how parents can say, "I brought you into this world. I can take you out." You can literally say that and be honest about it.
No, I'd use it to scare.
Up at your house.
I had 3 sons, so I could use it to scare them with, if she gets pregnant, I'll know.
Yeah. There's only me at the window. We have to move.
My sons, I'm sure if they ever hear this, will be mortified. But, yeah.
Well, that is amazing. Just being able to back when they were doing the clock, revitalizing the clock out here, they were selling bricks for people, and I bought one for my mom.
Mm-hmm.
So as I always love walking past it, and you get to see that almost every day walking into that facility.
Every single day, they have the photos of my dad and I we have a shadow box in the office that just seeing the FC Miller Birthing Center, it makes me proud. It makes me nostalgic for those years that we practiced together. We would always joke it was too much fun to call it a job. It was and to feel like, because as a child, you always want to make your parents proud, and then you kind of graduate to this where you want to help your parents, and carrying on that legacy and continuing to do that, gives me a sense of I'm doing it, Dad.
Yeah, pride.
Thanks for looking over my shoulder and helping me out once in a while when I need it. But it just adds a whole nother level. I love what I do on so many levels, and that's one of the levels, is that I love that I know that he looks down and is proud. And
going from that, I asked Kasas the same thing. Is there anything that you would like to say to the community as a whole? Just being here and anything at all.
I thank you. Is what? Thank you for embracing me. Thank you for helping me, being there for me when I need it. Thank you for trusting me, and thank you for allowing me to share in so many big parts of your of your life. I you're the reason I love what I do. It's the people. The from the patients to the friends to the coworkers to the neighbors and the families of my children's friends who have picked up the mantle when I can't get them to practice and I need to. And I can remember being in Little League and getting called away and thinking, it'll be okay. Somebody will get my son home. Just that overwhelming trust that I couldn't, especially spending so many years of my parenthood as a single mom. I can't imagine being where I am without them, and I just I thank them for that.
Yeah. Well, I can assuredly speak for the rest of the community in saying thank you for everything that you do for us. I wouldn't have two beautiful children if it wasn't for you. So, and you and your whole team, but
Yeah.
you're the lead. So we appreciate
Very
you.
blessed. Oh, thank you.
And I think this is a great spot to end this. But thank you for coming on.
Oh, my pleasure.
This is a lot of fun. Did you have fun?
I did.
Did the nerves sink away?
They did. Did you see my shoulders go down as I